Good day, everyone. My name is Mark Dimin Bison from BIT 4AFSM. Materials Management Introduction. All business that has a manufacturing operation typically manage inbound and outbound of all of the physical assets of the organization as well as the services a business offers. These goods and services are the wealth of the business. The wealth is measured by the amount of goods and services produced by the business, and it is also based on the country where the business is located at. Some countries are rich with resources such as mineral deposits, farmlands, forests, etc. These are only potential sources of wealth of the country which will give benefits to the business to their assets, especially also if the country is labor abundant. What is material management? It is the planning, directing, controlling, and coordinating those activities which are concerned with materials and inventory requirements from the point of their inception to their introduction into the manufacturing process. It is also an important function of an organization covering various aspects of input process. It deals with raw materials, procurement of machines and other equipments necessary for the production process and spare parts for the maintenance of the plant. But in a production process, materials management can be considered as a preliminary to transformation process. Material cost is probably the most important element of cost in the case of certain industries like cement, sugar, chemicals, iron, and steel, etc. The materials costs form a very significant portion of the overall cost of production. Objectives of material management. First, material selection. It is correct specification of material and components is determined, and also the material requirements in agreement with sales program are assessed. Low operating cost. It should endeavor to keep the operating cost low, increase the profits without making any concessions in quality. Safety of materials. With a true management of materials inbound, outbound, and on-stock products will always be safe and insecure to damages and expiration. Identification. With materials and management, confusion of orders and procurement will be lessened. Classification of materials. The term material is the term material refers to all commodities which are consumed in the production process. The materials which can be consumed in the production process can be basically classified as direct materials and indirect materials. Materials is generally called raw materials. Inventory is a name collectively given to raw material, work in process, and finished goods. Even though material and inventory are used as synonyms, materials are usually means raw material and inventory means raw materials along with work in process plus finished goods. So raw materials, work in progress, and finished goods. Raw materials is first subjected to manufacturing process before it becomes finished goods. The raw materials is also present with work in process and finished good. It is a continuous process. Inventory classification includes resources that have future economic value. It indicates that it may be available in different forms depending upon the production cycle stage it is in. Classification of inventory is done on this basis, and thus the different classification of inventory are as follows. First is raw materials are input goods intended for combination and or conversion through the manufacturing process into semi-finished or finished goods. They change their form and become part of the finished product. Components and parts. Just as raw materials are converted to finished goods in manufacturing operation, components and parts are assembled into finished goods in an assembly operation. Maintenance, repair, and operating inventories, or MRO. This includes parts, supplies, and materials used in or consumed by routine maintenance and repair operating equipment or support of operations. Working in processed goods. This includes in the process manufacturing and only partially completed. They are usually measured for accounting purposes in between significant conversation phases. In process, inventories provide the flexibility necessary to deal with various in demand between different phases or manufacturing. Finished goods. These represent the completed conversion of raw materials into the final product. They are goods ready for sales and shipment. Resale goods. These are goods acquired for sales, such as goods may be purchased by a wholesaler for resale to distributors or by distributors for resale to consumers, etc. Capital goods. These are items that are not used or consumed during a single operating period, but have extended useful lives and must be utilized over multiple operating periods. Tax law required that such as an item be capitalized and predetermined percentage of its cost be cognized as an expense each operating period over a predetermined time frame according to equipment classes. Construction materials. These are raw materials and components are construction projects such as building, bridge, and etc. Hard goods or soft goods. Hard goods and soft goods will vary depending on the industry involved. For example, in data processing, hard goods including apparatus such as computer and terminals, while soft goods including software, data, storage, media, and the like. Fuel and lubricants. Fuel and lubricants are used for their own purpose for the equipment used in the process, which gain varies with the type of industries. Stationary goods. It includes writing materials like paper, pen, ink, etc., which are used by the people involved in the process. Primary packing materials. Packing materials like plastic, paper, etc., are used to pack the finished goods for sale. Scope of material management. The scope of materials management including the following aspects. First is material planning. Second is standardization. Third, procurement and purchasing. Fourth, quality control. Five, packaging. Six, storage. Seven, distribution. Material planning. Material planning is derived from overall organization and planning, and it is always a sub-plan of the broad organization plan. What it does, it forecasts and initiate the procurement of materials. The factors affecting materials planning are: first, macro factors. Global factors such as price trends, business cycles, governments, import and export policies, etc., are called macro factors. Credit policy of the government is a critical factor as bank follows these guidelines only while extending financial support to a business entity. 2. Microfactors. These are essentially the factors existing within the organization, such as corporate policy on inventory holding, production plan, investment, etc. For any organization, factors such as lead time of procurement, acceptable inventory levels, working capital, seasonality, delegation of power are microfactors. Standardization. Standardization. Standardization means formulation, publication, and implementation of guidelines, rules, and specifications for common and repeated use, aimed to achieving optimum degree of order or uniformity in a given context, discipline, or field. Publication means communication of message, statement, or text through any means such as audio, video, print, electronically as an ebook or on the web. Specification means exact statement of the particular needs to be satisfied and essential characteristics that a customer requires in goods, materials, methods, process, service, system, or work in which vendor must deliver. Specifications are written usually in a manner that enables both parties to measure the degree or conformity. Specifications are divided generally into two main categories. First, performance specification conform to know customer requirements such as keeping rooms temperature with a specified range. Technical specification, these are expressed that the levels of performance of the goods, service, or any process of the business. Procurement and purchasing. Procurement means acquisition. It includes the complete process of obtaining goods and services from preparation and processing of requisition to receipt and approval of the invoice of our payment. It is also called sourcing, while purchasing is the actual buying of goods of the seller and the buyer. Quality control. Quality control compromise activities employed in detection and measurement of the variability in the characteristics of output attributable to the production system and includes corrective responses. In quality control, the role of inspection is very and validated to the variance data. It also involves critical appraisal involving examination, measurement, testing, gauging, gouging, and comparison of material or or items. An inspection determines if the material or items is in proper quantity and condition, if it conforms to the applicable or specified requirements. Packaging. Packaging includes processes such as cleaning, drying, and preserving materials such as glass, metal, paper, paperboard, plastics employed to contain, handle, protect, and transport an article. The role of packaging is expanding and may include functions such as to attract attention, assist in promotion, provide machine identification, barcodes, impact essential or additional information, and help in utilization. Packaging will also be discussed on this module on the later part on this module. Some packaging process will be discussed. Storage means non-transitory, semi-permanent containment, holding or placement of goods or materials, usually with the intention of retrieving them at a later time. It does not include the in-term accumulation of a limited amount during processing, maintenance, or repairing. Distribution means movement of goods and service from the source through the distribution channel right up to the final customer, consumer, or user. Material handling. What is material handling? It is the efficient short distance movement of good that usually takes place with the confines of buildings such as plant or warehouse or between a building and transportation agency. Types of material holding. First, manual handling refers to the use of workers' hands to move individual containers by lifting, lowering, filling, emptying, or carrying them. To properly lift any items, a worker should observe the following. First is plan your lift, position the feet, adopt a good posture, get a firm grip on the item, and keep it close to you. Lift the load up by using only your leg. Put down and adjust. So this is the automated. Is any form handling of material that use automated machine and robotics. Material handling equipment. Material handling equipment is used for the movement, storage, protection, consumption, and disposal of materials within a facility or at a site. To properly utilize the performance and the assets of the company, there are things to consider first in purchasing, such as physical facilities, especially in the material handling and storage equipment. The factors below are the things considered in selecting a machine and other physical facilities for the companies. First, simple of operation. Before purchasing of any machine or equipment, purchasing officer should always mind the ease of operation of what to be purchased. It should be easy to operate, and it should always listen fatigue to the operators to have good results. Second, flexibility. The machine must have flexibility to adapt for multiple purposes when the cost of the machine is high. The machine or the equipment should have the ability of a system to respond to potential internal or external changes affecting its value delivery in a timely and cost effective manner. Third, durability. The machines must be strong and durable. Breakdown of the machine means investment is waste. 4. Portability. The size of the machine is reduced into portable size. When the machines are small, it is convenient to handle and is easy to move from one place to another. 5. Benefit. Manual labor is replaced by machine. Greater accuracy and better result must be produced. Must be qualitative change in the office when the machine is introduced. Serve. 6. Service. In purchasing of machine and equipment, the company should always check if the item has after sales service. 7. Operating cost. The working capital is one of the most essential asset of the company to continue its operation. Machines and equipment that has low operating costs will save the company's working capital. 8. Style. The design of the machine and equipment should attractive since it also creates market and credibility to the business. 9. Suppliers. When purchasing such machines and equipment, the business should always give priority to the supplier. Supplier is the heart of a business stock since they give most of the company profit. 10. Cost. Generally, when the cost increase, the performance will better. Cost of the machine is comfortable in terms of savings in labor, low cost of repairing the maintenance, etc. Material handling equipment. Material handling equipment classified into four. These are the transport equipment, position equipment, unit load formation equipment, storage equipment, and the identification control equipment. Transport equipment. This equipment is used to move materials from the one location to another location. Conveyor. Conveyors, an equipment used to move materials or over a fixed path between specific points. So this is the sample photos of conveyors. Cranes, equipment used to move materials over variable paths within restricted areas. It is mainly used for lifting heavy things and transporting them to another places. Cranes, cranes are commonly employed in transport industry for loading and unloading of freight. In the construction industry for the movement of materials and in the manufacturing industry for the assembling of heavy equipment. So this is the sample photos of cranes and an industrial truck. Industrial trucks used to move materials over variable horizontal paths without restriction on the area covered. The, most industrial trucks permitted machinized pick up and deposit of the loads, eliminating manual work in lifting as well as transporting. Types of forklift. So first is reach truck, are usually electric powered industrial trucks. It is used for tall trucks for loading and unloading pallets. Reach trucks are usually placed on strategic locations inside the warehouse. Capacity 2,500 lbs to 5,500 lbs. Second is third wheel forklift, mainly used indoors warehouse or smooth surfaces. Used for maneuverability and space, electric power, capacity 3,000 lbs to 5,000 lbs. 4. Third is four-wheel forklift. Four-wheel forklift can be electric power and gasoline, more stable than the third wheel forklift, usually used on outdoors. Capacity 3,000 lbs to 80,000 lbs. Unit load formation equipment. Unit load formation equipment is used to restrict materials so that they maintain their integrity when handled during transport and for storage. Examples for the are pallets and pallet boxes. Pallets is a flat transport structure that supports goods in a stable fashion while being lifted by a forklift. Pallets have entry numbers. Some pallets have two-way, and the most common is the four-way pallets that has four entry point for the forklift and lifting purposes. So first, this is the first spot of four-way pallets, and then the second is two-way pallets. Pallet boxes, reusable container used to utilize and protect loose item for fork and platform truck handling. Storage equipment is used for handling or buffering materials over a period of time. It represents a trade-off between minimizing handling costs by making material easily accessible and maximizing the utilization of space. One of the best example storage equipment is the racking system of the racks. A rack is a frame or shelves, usually with bars or hooks. It is used for holding the goods and products to be stored. Types of racking system. First is drive-through rack, second drive-in rack, third flow-through rack, four pushback rack. So this is the drive-through rack. It's designed for first in, first out type of inventory management. This racking system is used for products that are fast moving and labeled with mass productions. Forklifts have the opportunity to stack item on one side while simultaneously being retrieved from the other side. So below an example drive-through racking system, unload and load. Drive-in rack is designed for last in, first out. Types of inventory loads and retrieve from the same side, creating the last in, first out inventory retrieval organization. Forklifts have the opportunity to drive inside the racking system through the service is only one side. Below is an example drive in rack. So load to unload. So thank you for listening.